Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mercedes. In today's video, I have polishes to share with you from Cracked Polish. It is a 6-piece collection that is inspired by the 80s cartoon Gem and the Holograms. I am not familiar with this show. I didn't watch it growing up. I was born in like the late 80s, 89, so I grew up in like the 90s, 2000s, really like the 2000s era. But comment down below if you've watched this show before. This specific cartoon, the maker Monique, she had said in the PR information that this cartoon had, made her who she is creativity wise today. The fashion, the makeup, all of that inspo from this cartoon has really led her down the path of creativity. She had pointed out that this collection is for all of those who embrace individuality. Before we go on, if you haven't already subscribed, I hope that you do. I upload videos with live swatches, and I love talking about all things nails and nail polish. I do have an affiliate code with Cracked Polish. I'll leave it right here, and I'll also leave it down below. Now, let's get into the swatches.
Here we have pink hair strands, and this one is described as a sheer frosted white with pink and lilac shimmers, and this is inspired by Jen's magical pink hair. This one is so stunning. It does go on sheer on the first coat, but it just builds up beautifully to this wonderful like frosty intensity. I'm not really one for frosty polishes, but I must say this one is very, very pretty. I think long or short nails, 3 coats is going to be your best bet, and on long nails you could potentially still see some nail line, but I think this one is so frosty and shimmery that is really going to distract from your nail line. I had no issues with the formula. Everything went on nice and smooth. Streaks were barely visible. Everything leveled out on its own. But you can see how beautifully this one just builds up in 3 coats. It reminds me of wedding nails with just like a little spice or edge. Like it's not like your full-blown white frosty shade. It has a beautiful lilac tint. And it's so pretty. It gives it like this nice little shift. When I usually think of like frosty polishes, I don't think I've ever seen anything like shifty in a frosty polish. This one might actually be the first one that I have seen being shifty. Yeah, I think so. But it's so delicate, so pretty. I love how it built up, for me anyways, on my nails to pretty much full opacity. And it didn't give me any issues with the formula. Like everything leveled out perfectly. Really is such a delicate, pretty color. This would look fantastic on the toes as well. Pictured are 3 coats of pink hair strands with a glossy top coat. Next up, we have Music is Magic, and this one is described as a dark teal green with holographic red, pink, green, and silver shimmers. And it's inspired by the backdrop on stage in the Music is Magic song. This one also goes on sheer on the first coat, but wait until you see how beautiful it builds up. Like it's just, it is magic on the 3rd coat. But you can see in the space the silver shimmers peeking through the teal base, and then as you get into the 2nd coat, that's when you really get to see all the other beautiful holographic colors starting to shine through. And then when I went in for this 3rd coat, I was blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, like it just tied everything in all together. I got full opacity in 3 coats. I think long or short nails, depending on your preference, 2 to 3 is going to do it for you. But look how beautiful that is. Now the holographic glitters or shimmers, aren't very strong, but it does give it this beautiful little sparkle, and it really like plays into the teal base to give it some dimension. This one is gorgeous. I absolutely love this color. I think teals look really nice on a lot of different skin tones. It just complements it very well because it's not too bright, it's not too bold, it's not too soft. Such a pretty color, and I really love all of the shimmers and the sparkliness in this color. Pictured are 3 coats of Music is Magic with a glossy top coat. Next up, we have Like a Retro Dream, and this one is described as an icy mint with a white sheen and green shimmers, and it's inspired by the frosty makeup trends of the 80s. Now, this one is a very interesting shade, very, very different in my opinion, or at least different from what I own anyways. I did build it up in 3 coats. The first coat, you do see that it's a bit sheer and it looks a little bit patchy, but honestly, as you keep going in for your coats, things start to level out and that patchiness does diminish. Streaks are barely visible once they start to dry down. But you can see, like, I do love the description of an icy mint, but it also looks a little bit frosty to me. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm not a big fan of frosty colors, but I really like this one too. I like that it has like this hint of color to it. It's very different. It's very different. And I really like it. Like, you do see that white sheen in there. There's like a drop of white. The green shimmers I don't think are very predominant. They do give it a little bit of dimension, but I don't see it too much in this polish anyways. I think what is really standing out, or really makes a good a big difference in this polish, is just that beautiful icy mint shade with the top, like with the drop of white polish in there. It just makes it look so different. And when I look for polishes nowadays, because I own so much, I look for different things, and I think I am now more attracted to polishes that I normally wouldn't wear, or normally wouldn't gravitate towards, because I am looking for something different. And I can definitely say that Cracked Polish, from what I've seen so far, has done an incredible job with creating these different types of polishes that, at least that I've been craving for. And I like that. I really appreciate that. Pictured are 3 coats of Like a Retro Dream with a glossy top coat. Next up, we have Beautifully Bold Gold. This one is described as a burnt gold metallic, and it's inspired by the gold records in the Glitter and Gold song. This one is very different again. Don't mind that little bump patch near the edge of my cuticle. I don't know what was going on. I think I hit it and I tried to like save it and it just wasn't working out. So just ignore that, even though it's really bothering me. This one I think built up beautifully in 2 coats. Now you can see up close and personal that it is a bit streaky, but we are up close and personal. I think it did a good job of drying down and self-leveling for the most part. You can see here on the full hand swatch that the streaks really aren't that visible. And I wanted to show you guys a different way, which you will see. But I think if you're up close and personal, you will see a little bit of those streaks. The formula is a bit on the thicker end, but not thick in a bad way. It's just different from what I expected. So here you can see like the streaks are barely visible. It's just when you're up close and personal. I think this shade of gold complements me very well. It gives me a nice nude manicure without being boring. I'm not the one for nude polishes. I've really never been. I like my bold colors or my fun polishes. But, you know, once in a while, a palette cleanser is nice. And I think this one does it for me. It gives me a good, just fresh manicure, but it also has that beautiful gold like pop of something in there, right? It's just a little bit extra. I mean, it's not glitter or anything. It's not anything sparkly, which I usually like. But it's a nice gold, like bold shade without being overbearing. Pictured are 2 coats of Beautifully Bold Gold with a glossy top coat. Here we have Rockn Roadster wheels, and this one is described as a white gold with large gold flecks and gold shimmers, and it's inspired by the band's car. This one is also very different. Sorry to sound like a broken record. It applies beautifully I built it up in 3 coats, and you will see that. I think long short nails, 3 coats is going to be your best bet. The flakies are very large and in charge. I love that they're gold because it just gives like a nice little spin to this polish. You have your beautiful like white gold base, right? And then you have your sparkly gold flecks of flakies in there. I'm usually not the one for sparse flakies. I like my flakies more dense on the nail. But this one, I feel like it complements that base very well. They're not, it's not like they're not noticeable. They are. I like, of course, hit my nail like always. It's not like the flakies aren't noticeable. They are, but it just blends in very well with this base, so it doesn't give you like random flakes on the nails vibe, you know what I mean? It does complement the color of the base very well, and it makes it look very regal and very rich looking. Pictured are 3 coats of Rockn Roadster wheels with a glossy top coat. And rounding out the collection, we have Truly Outrageous. This one is a holographic gold topper, and it's inspired by the gold shimmering glitters of the character Synergy when she transforms the other characters' outfits. Now I'm going to show you this built up on its own on my bare nail, and then also how it looks over black with 2 coats. I had barely any staining on my nails in this video, so you can get a true sense of what it looks like if you wore it on its own. But the glitters like spread out so nicely, smoothly, no issues. You get beautiful coverage on that first coat. So if you are looking for something a little bit more daintier, spread out throughout the nail, just want to add a little bit of twinkle, 1 coat is going to be great. And obviously if you want some more sparkle and just extra like oomph, adding a second coat really does bring out more sparkliness. I think it looks very pretty on its own as well. If you just are in a rush and you really don't have time to paint your nails, but you want something sparkly or something fun, toppers are always a good like choice for that. You just throw it on and you're like good to go. I think this looks beautiful over black. I really love how it looks built up in 2 coats over black. It gives it nice sparkle, and you can really see the gold. I know with some like gold flaky toppers, not flaky, gold glitter toppers, it's really hard to see that gold because sometimes they can be very fine, and you mostly see like the holographic, so all of the colors twinkling, and you kind of miss out on the gold aspect of it. And I think this polish or this topper does a good job with, showing you all the beautiful holographic shimmer or glitter, but also keeping true to its gold form, and you're also able to see the beautiful gold against that black. And I think if you honestly wear it over other shades, I'd wear it over like deeper shades, and that's just like my personal preference. I think you're still going to be able to see the beautiful gold and also see the holographic within the polish or within the shimmers, glitters as well. But here we have 2 coats of Truly Outrageous over black, and then 2 coats on my bare nails with a glossy top coat.
All right, that is all that I have for you today. Let me know if you plan on picking up any of these polishes or the entire collection. They will be priced at $13 individually or $65 for the entire collection. Thank you again, and I'll see you in my next one.